and then see what her feedback says.
Right.
All right.
I mean, the TA seems pretty straightforward and wants to get through it, so it doesn't seem like she tries to procrastinate anything. I was just
Yes.
hoping that we're going to get it all done tonight, and we could put this thing to bed completely.
Yes, I was hoping so too. But I think we're still going to be okay. I mean, he said it was pretty easy. It was pretty straightforward. I don't think any of us disagreed on any of the answers. So I'm thinking we can still go and answer if we just go in and answer. Because like I said, we all picked the same answers. I went through and looked at all of our answers, and we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think if we went ahead and answered it and signed off on it, I mean, her comments can't be too far off from where we're at.
Yeah. I mean, if we're off, all of us are off.
Yeah. If it's wrong, it's wrong. We're all wrong.
Yeah. We all get dinged together.
There you go.
All right.
Let me open this up and I'll put it into edit mode and
Okay.
we can get started here. And I did hit record, so just wanted to double verify that. Get halfway through the meeting and then realize I didn't hit record.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
Got a 30-second video of us saying goodbye.
Right. All right, here. So this one we'll just highlight in magenta here. I guess the number 2 here, we all selected C.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do our intro. Everybody, like, identify yourself and what your letter is, and then we'll just go from there.
Okay.
All right. My name is Mario Anthony Munoz. I go by Anthony. I'm number A in this group, and it's pretty straightforward assignment. And I think we all kind of aligned our views of the checks. So.
Yep. I'm member B, Les Rose. Leslie, I go by Les. I'm the green B member of the group. Like Mario said, or Anthony, sorry, I'm gonna have to get used to that, man. All of our answers seem to be correlate with each other and build upon what each of us think. We seem to all be kind of riding the same horse. So that's me.
All right. My name is Edwin Vaught. I go by Eddie. I am member C, the teal color. And again, I believe we are all, at least on this lab assignment, all on the same page as far as our answers coincide with each other, and we're ready to put this thing to bed.
Awesome. All right. Anthony, you want to lead this, or who do you want to kind of walk us through?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and we'll start by discussing, number 2, the experimental group in this case refers to, I guess, and we all selected patients who received the new drug. And I guess, do we need to read this out aloud? I mean, I guess answer this out, or do we just start going down the line 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 through 10?
You might want to just kind of go over it. Just kind of, you don't have to read it word for word. Just kind of what it's talking about. Just kind of give it an overview.
All right. So this is discussing in order to test the effectiveness of a new painkiller, kind of talking about the scientific method and how to perform experiments. So we answered the questions, gave the answers to the question above, and we started at number 2, and we all selected C, patients who received the new drug is the best answer. And I gave, because the test is to see if the new drug has any effect on the experimental group.
Yeah, which I believe is the correct answer. You can't have an experimental group if you don't have something you're experimenting. That's the way I look at it.
And I concur. Patients receive the new drug because the experiment is to see if the new drug is effective on curing a migraine.
Pretty straightforward.
Yep, sounds good.
I'll go down. I'll go next. I'll be the next one on number 3, the control group of the case. Oh, go ahead. You want to mark that? Go ahead, bud.
Oh, shoot. You can go for it.
Okay.
I need to.
Yeah, for the control group, we picked the, I believe it, I'm not sure, remember the letter. I believe it was the patients who received the placebo is the wording, and I believe that is A, the placebo. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, number 3.
Yeah. Where do we go? Oh, I'm sorry, we went with E. Sorry. Patients who receive the placebo, they are the control. The placebo does nothing, so therefore they are the control group.
Correct. I believe that's the correct answer. They are not getting any medication to cure a migraine.
And patients who receive the placebo, because a proper study requires a control group.
Correct.
Alrighty.
Go ahead, Eddie. You go for it.
All right. Which of the following which of the following 5 choices best describes the following? The students are split into groups and given a test at the end of the semester. The grades of students who attend every class period will be statistically compared to the grades of students who miss more than one class. Proven, experiment, question, hypothesis, and theory. And I chose to think, I think the best answer is experiments, because there is this is the test of a hypothesis.
I believe that's correct. I mean, you're testing a hypothesis, so it is a true experiment.
Yep. And the experiment states how the hypothesis will be tested.
I believe that's correct.
All righty. Let's see. 5 here. The fact that Paul and Leslie were paying for ballet lessons proves that they were the parents of a little girl. And A, yes, or B, no. I selected no because there must be more evidence to support that claim. Boys and girls can be in ballet. So, just that alone wasn't enough to make that, assumption.
Yep, I agree. I mean, in today's time, boys and girls do a lot of things together that in the past may have been more gender specific, but today's times you cannot just make that assumption without any other evidence to support one way or the other.
Yeah, I picked the same way and went along the same lines as you guys, is about not making any assumption, because there are plenty of boys that are in ballet in this day and time. I did make the caveat, however, in the time period, it was what, 92 when
Yep.
she was, or in ballet. That was kind of a different time, and it was less accepted, but
that is true.
Just a caveat to that.
You are correct. I mean, I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer on that one. I mean, it's kind of a gut feel, but to be PC in today's world, I know.
Sounds good.
Is this next one mine?
Number 6.
The interpretation that Paul and Leslie met, married, had a daughter who took ballet, who then went to high school and was accepted to Princeton is, and I think the best answer is consistent with the evidence and possibly true, because the time frame and items purchased point to this interpretation.
Go ahead, Anthony.
Put A as well, consistent with evidence and possibly true, because the empirical evidence supports the hypothesis.
That is right.
I think I worded that correctly. I don't know.
No, it sounds right. Sounds good. And I just added that the chronological order of the checks makes this very plausible statement. I mean, you follow the A to B to C, that kind of falls in line with what we needed.
I know we're talking specifically about this question, but the only thing that tripped me up about that check was the amount. Like, we all know Princeton, and what can you get for $750 at Princeton? Like, obviously that's not going to pay tuition. It's not going to pay application fee. That was the only thing that I was kind of stuck on for a little while, was the amount. Like $750. What?
Yeah, it was a bumper sticker.
Yeah.
The parking pass for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm on the next one. I think we skipped me, but that's cool. I'll grab this one. Number 7. assuming that none of the checks were forged, Leslie wrote to now the NOW, which is considered and we all agree that it is a fact. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's right. A fact. While the interpretation she was a feminist would be an inference. It is known that the NOW is the National Organization for Women, which is a feminist group, and we would be drawing an inference that if she wrote them a check for support, that she was a supporter.
Agree.
I agree there too. Yeah.
Do we? Y'all may not know this. Just sidebar. Do we know? Will we ever know what the correct storyline is for these checks?
I don't think so.
I mean, I'm just curious. Are we close? Are we not close? Are we drawing?
I don't know. I don't think we'll ever know, but I guess we'll find out after the lab is done.
Yeah, we'll see what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that'd be nice to know if we're on the right track or not. I mean, it seems logically, it seems totally plausible by looking at what we've seen. So
yeah.
All right, whose turn is it this time?
Yours.
Yeah, I believe it's yours.
Number 8. So, which of the following aspects of the scientific process were illustrated by this lab? I selected B, scientific hypothesis and theories are tentative and subject to change based on new evidence, because as I observed new evidence, the picture of Paul and Leslie's relationship evolved. So just going through it and looking at everything and then looking at the information that the other groups got, it just all kind of leads to this is what happened. It'd be very, very interesting to see if that's not how it played out, like what really went on. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, it leads us down this path of A to B, and then you throw in these extra checks, and it kind of opens the window a little bit more and a little bit more to where the most logical conclusion is the way we have it laid out. So
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I agree on everything we talked. New evidence was obtained. The storyline changed.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dave.
What is meant by the statement, scientific knowledge is necessarily contingent knowledge rather than absolute knowledge? I think the best answer is D, which D is A, B, and C, which is scientific understanding can always be challenged and even changed with new ways of observing and with different interpretations. New tools and techniques have resulted in new observations and the discovery of additional information, sometimes forcing revisions of what had been taken as fact in the past. And there's no certain in silence, only degree of probability, likelihood, and potential for change. So the end of that is technology is always changing. New discoveries are being made, which means facts as we know them can also be changed. And I kind of thought of the planet Pluto, which is no longer considered a planet after however many years it was thought to be a planet. So,
and it may come back to be a planet again. No, that's true. I mean, the way everything is growing so fast these days that new technologies, new procedures are able to perform tests on old evidence and old items. I mean, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with scanning and magnetic imaging, and it's changed a lot of things, and what's good and bad for us. Even we got a lot of tech in healthcare and stuff too that makes us way more advanced, and things constantly changing.
That's correct.
So I think we all agreed on that. And
the last one, bring me down.
That one was D.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, you want to mark that one real quick? All right. To take us home with, Melissa was a 14-year-old. She wanted to be a botanist and grows up because she loves plants. Decided to begin her training by doing something scientific. Specifically, she measured the heights of all the shrubs in the yard and recorded the data in a notebook, and then made a graph showing the maximum, minimums, average height of the shrubs. Does this approach meet all the requirements for a scientific process? We all selected E, no, because she did not have a hypothesis to guide her data collection and to serve as a basis of interpreting the data. She just broadly doing something scientific does not create a hypothesis or something that would drive her to help her collect the data and interpret that.
Agreed.
I agree as well.
It's just
Halfway there.
doing scientific does not mean you are truly performing a scientific process. You're just playing scientist.
Yeah. Mark that one.
And hopefully, if the TA or the lab instructor who watches this, if we're doing this wrong, please let us know and we'll adjust what we're doing. So that's caveat there for them.
Just let us know. Yeah, let's go around here. So I think we sign here.
Yep, you can go ahead and sign yours while we're on, and we can sign ours. Well, you can sign. I mean, we can sign together. You can mark us as green and blue if you want.
Yeah, you sign them all for us, but we're all here and agreeing to it.
But I totally could do that, but don't we all three have to submit it? Or I don't,
It's only an edit in this wiki, so this wiki is the submission.
Right.
So the only thing we're going to do is change the edit.
Right.
So it's not, and we're all here, we're all agreeing on it. So just because Leslie and I can't physically get on there and I mean, I think it's going to serve its purpose.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And this video will serve to.
As our authorization. So if something comes up.
Did I get y'all's names right?
Yep.
Yes, you did.
Should be good.
All right.
I'm assuming I'll put LIE at the end of my name just to be safe.
Yep, there we go.
There we go. Just so there's no confusion.
Yeah, I definitely don't want that. So I think, guys, I think we did it. I think this is going to satisfy. If y'all don't mind doing this every, I like to get as many points as I can because there's always, give a little wiggle room if I, not do so well on a test, or if, like I said, I try to stay on top of my work, but I have a family, I have kids and work in school, and sometimes I just, something gets by me. It shouldn't, but I like to have cushion too. Yeah. So if y'all don't mind,
why not take the 25 points for something that we can discuss?
Yeah, it's a freebie. It's good. It's easy points, and it keeps us all on the same page too. I like that. I mean, that way we don't get too far separated from each other. We stay together. I mean, I like it. I think it works. I'm good for, it doesn't matter which night we do during the week, so we can float the night. But I'm good at the 9 o'clock-ish, just kind of getting on, trying to jump on for a few minutes and knock this thing out.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I don't think this class is going to get any easier. So I agree with, let's keep as many points in the pot as we can. Where are we at on time?
I'll just have to hit stop and see. I think, we were already at 9:20. So I hit it maybe 2 or 3 minutes after we started, after we all connected. I hit it about, 2 or 3 minutes later. So we should be good on time.
Okay.
I was just, like I said, if y'all are good with this, we can just schedule it up every week. And like I said, I think we're all on the same page, and stay accountable to each other and ourselves. So
good. That's good. I think the next lab it was posted in one of them, but I don't think the information is in the wiki yet. So I went and looked at it, but I don't think it's there yet.
Gotcha. I've got a couple other classes I've got to focus on moving in this week, so I probably won't be back on lab stuff until late in the weekend. But if something comes up, I can always jump on. But I got a couple other classes that are due at the end of the week, so I'll be focusing on those, trying to get those put to bed.
Gotcha. Good deal.
That's me. All right. Anthony, you submitted that, so we are Good.
I submitted it. Let me double check and make sure that okay, so that's magenta. Magenta 3, we got it highlighted. 4 highlighted. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And so I will stop this meeting here and I will upload it to YouTube and I will post the link here, I guess, underneath this.
Let's see. Brief meeting.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Poster upload to Blackboard as a in the wiki. Yeah, so post it at the end there. Pick a color. I guess if you want to make it a color, bold it, whatever you got to do.
Yep.
And then when we should have it ready for them when they go back to do final grades for this lab.
Awesome.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Well,
Sounds
talk to
good.
y'all soon.
All right.
Man. I appreciate it.
Y'all have a good
Have
night.
a good night. We'll see
All
you
right,
guys.
All right.